Hi guys, I'm live. How you guys doing? Um, I just want to ramble a little bit. This is on the at the periphery of what I usually think about, I guess. Meaning it's like fringe thought. I don't really think about this stuff a lot. Um, but before I say anything, I kind of miss the David Lee Roth drama too, but there was no truth to it. And if it's not true, I don't want drama at the expense of truth. Drama is fun, and drama is cool, and drama is, oh my gosh, David Ross. But if it's just people yanking my chain, I rather know the truth and just have drama for drama's sake. So sorry about that. I'm sorry I miss it too a little bit, guys. But at the end of the day, truth needs to prevail. I think it's kind of like religion is kind of like that. Like I if the Bible's true, like I'll cop to it, but I don't think it is. But it doesn't mean that. But I don't know everything. But I don't want to believe what I believe because I just want to believe it. I want to know that what I believe is really what I think might be true. So since I don't believe that, it turns out that David Roth and all those people were Pudge and his people yanking my chain from the East Coast. I'd rather know that than just have drama and not knowing what's really going on. So sorry, but I miss it too, but I'm sorry. The other two things are things I don't usually think about, but one is my hair. I just was thinking about this the other day. My adoptive mom always thought my hair was too thick. So she had every time I went to get my hair cut, she would tell the barber to thin my hair. She wanted my hair was abnormally thick when I was a kid. And I didn't think much about that, but I was thinking lately that maybe that helped my hair grow because they say that like when you have plants, you have to trim them to get them to grow. If you just let them grow, sometimes they don't grow as well. And maybe the fact that during my youth, all my youth, I had my hair thinned actually, not just cut, but my mom would have the barber thin my hair. Maybe it helped it grow thicker. Just food for thought. I don't know. I don't know that. I'm 60. No, I'm not 6. I'm 58, and maybe that helped. My hair that my mom all my life had it thinned, and maybe that just pruned it or something. Maybe there's something to that. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this, but I thought maybe I was just thinking maybe it actually over time it helps my hair because like when you work out, you're actually tearing muscle down. You're not building muscle when you work out. It tears the muscle down. But then nature overcompensates and gives you more muscle than you started with. So just food for thought that might have actually helped my hair that I don't know, but I'm just saying it might have. And third thing I want to bring up that I don't usually talk about much is, let me just remind you of the story. I wanted to play guitar when I was like 11, I think, and then my dad wouldn't let me. And then I wanted to play it when I was 13, and my dad still wouldn't let me. And when my dad actually got me a guitar when I was 15, I was this close to just quitting on the whole idea. But when I was 13, I didn't have any musical expression other than the only thing I could do was I built a drum set out of trash. I took oatmeal cartons for drums. I took kite sticks and broke them in half for sticks. I took pie pans for cymbals, and I took coat hangers, the metal kind, to hang everything up. And I actually made a drum set out of trash and well, it wasn't in the trash maybe, but it was just household items. And I took a mono cassette player and played Rush, probably, Spirit Radio, and I love Permanent Waves, one of my favorite albums. And was drumming to it, or by myself, or whatever, or drumming either way. And my adoptive dad came home from work in his souped up funny car type Vega. That was a car called Vega, Vega. I'm not a car expert. He came home and he took one look at me, and he said, "Jim, you have no talent. You suck. You have no rhythm. You suck. You'll never be a musician." And all I remember is I never played that drum set again. I don't remember tearing it up, but it kind of crushed my spirit in that regard a little bit. But I want to talk about that. First of all, who's to say he might have been right? but yet that still might not be all bad. First of all, if he's wrong, he just crushed my spirit for nothing, and that's not nice, and it's not true. So he just was mean, being a dick that day, and he later apologized anyway. I asked him when I was like 28 years old. I asked him, "Did you mean that, Dad?" And he goes, "No, I was wrong." And he only said he was wrong like twice in his life to me, and that was one of them. But back to the point of him saying that, what if he was right? That doesn't mean that there's not a place for me in music, because maybe it's the challenge of getting me to find the rhythm that actually puts drama in my music. If I was just a machine, or just a machine, and I could just play rhythms like a machine, what's the fun in that? What's the fun in just having somebody be able to play rhythms like machines can already do that? But maybe part of the drama in my music is that I struggle with rhythm, and maybe that's the fun of it. When I played, let's say, when I did Elvis Presley, Heartbreak Hotel, it's a play of will he go off beat, will he not? No, he didn't. Wow, that's great. And that's if he's even right about what he said. But if he is, that doesn't negate my musical value. Maybe there's entertainment, and maybe there's lessons to learn for everybody. If Jimmie can get the rhythm, anybody can, kind of thing, or maybe just watch and see if he gets it this time. And I am intelligent, I think, and I do know music theory. I do know rhythm theory, and that helps the drama too. I know 5/8 time. I know what that means. I know what triplets are. I know what swing is. I know all kinds of stuff. But maybe it's the drama of will he, won't. Yeah, some people say, second or maybe first greatest rock and roll guitarist ever, Eddie Van Halen. People have said, even Greg Howe, great guitarist himself, that he did a clinic in 2015, and I went to it at Guitar Center. And he said the fun of Eddie Van Halen's solos was often he would sound like he's going to lose it. He would sound like he's going to blow it, and then suddenly he would save it. And that was the draw. That was part of the greatness of Eddie Van Halen's soloing, was he would sound like he's going to fall out down the stairs, but he would land on his feet. He even said that himself. He's like a cat. He falls, but he lands on his feet. It's the drama of seeing him almost mess up, but yet catch it. And in Greg Howe's own words, he said, "Nice save, Eddie." Maybe that's part of my value and my entertainment as well, is when I save the rhythm. And I'm not that bad. I can do rhythm. I have a rhythm sense, because I can sense when I mess up rhythmically. I can sense it. I can tell. That was too slow. That was too fast. No, that felt right. So that may not even be truth. My dad might have just been being a dick to me that day, and it might have had nothing to do with anything. He might have just been that might have been just hurtful stuff that didn't need to be said. But if it was true, maybe there's still value in me, and even though that might be part of my equation, I think I dig it. Swing itself is being technically incorrect for effect. That's a rhyme, actually. In swing, it's dun 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 dun. You're actually playing the eighth notes wrong, but it sounds good because the ear likes to feel like you're messing up. But no, you didn't. You went right back on it. It's the play. It's the swing of in and out of the rhythm. You don't want just a machine that just can do anything. That's another rhyme. Half rhyme, I think. But anyway, I'm just talking. I don't usually think about these things. I don't usually think about my hair. And I usually don't think about my dad saying I had no rhythm. But and I usually don't. What was the other thing I said? I said something else too. About the David Roth drama thing. I don't usually talk about missing drama. But you know what? If it came, it was fun. It was fun to hear all the David Lee Roth news, and my channel, I think, is either okay without that as well, or new drama will come. I love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.